karate is not just in the dojo. This is the dojo. The world is the dojo, right? This is you have to, the moment you wake up, you're already training. How you carry yourself, how you slap.
Great perspective.
Yeah, so it's like,
I love it.
what we teach is not just self-defense, like from an attacker. We teach self-defense against our own bad habits. So humans, we have bad habits like slouching.
Right.
That's a bad habit,
Oh my God.
right? So like we teach our students that it starts with that.
Right.
Don't look at opponents. Don't start martial arts because you want to fight people. Start martial arts because you already have an inner battle within you.
Hello, everyone. Great day. It's another episode of Nourish the Flourish Ph podcast. I am Coach Mary Rose Del Rio, one of the hosts here in our podcast. And for today, we will be having a very special guest because we are diving into the world of discipline, power, and purpose. So, our guest is a mentor, athlete, and a true inspiration to many. Let me read to you guys his profile. So he is 23 years of age, all right, very young athlete, president and head coach of Japan Karate Association of the Philippines, Lipa City, Batangas chapter, and also the Youngest JKA 4th degree black belt in the Philippines, multiple national and international karate gold medalist, Asian and Oceania Cup bronze medalist, Philippine national athlete, and former USA national athlete. Let's welcome here in the Playground PH and in our Nourish to Flourish PH podcast, Sensei Kim Masayuki Torres. Hello, welcome.
Thank
Can you
you.
please greet our viewers and followers?
Hi guys. I'm actually, thank you for that amazing introduction.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here. It's I've always wanted to be in a podcast, so I'm kind of excited to do this and share with you guys what God wants me to share with you guys. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, a bit of background, no? So, recently, actually more of last year, we had a lot of mga health talks na ginawa ni Sensei Yuki, right? So,
Yes.
doon ko din nakita yung passion niya when it comes to health and wellness. Yan. So, marami tayong mga matututunan din sa kanya. Tayong mga Batanggenyos deserve, to learn from and be empowered by health and fitness enthusiasts like him. Diba? So, meron palang national athlete dito sa Lipa. Yes. And kilalanin natin siya. So, yes, karate. And what's very interesting, guys, about him is that yung family mo, hindi lang ikaw, right? It started with his lolo and then his parents. Kindly let us know more about it. And given na parang somehow minana mo, yung, let's say, talent
Legacy.
or skill
True.
na yon, is it something na personal decision mo when you started young, having that sport? Or parang medyo may napilitan ba ng konti? So tell us the story.
Yeah, so I get this question all the time. So like a lot of people ask me like kung pinili ko ba yung karate or kung yun nga was it just forced on me? But so my answer is it's a little bit of both because I was kind of just born into it. My grandfather started karate. He was the first batch of national Philippine team, like karate team. So, and then he had his son, which is my dad, and he continued my dad was also kind of like forced into it. He didn't really like karate. So, but since his dad was very passionate about it, he wanted to, he kept telling him to like keep pursuing karate because he saw something that not everyone saw in karate. And that's when he started like only recently realizing, like my father just started to realize like when he continued karate, then he saw like how much it helped like the people around him. And that's when he started to realize, that's when he chose karate. Versus so like in the beginning, it was kind of a forced thing. But
What age can I start?
so I started when I was like 6.
6 years old.
Yeah. So but growing up, the dojo is basically like above, like on the 3rd floor of our
So
house.
you always see that.
So there's no escape from the dojo, So every day
and it is located in?
Yeah, we're located in Villarosa
Yeah.
subdivision
So, ang
in
landmark
Antipolo.
natin doon is the Carmel,
Yes,
right?
Carmel
And Lipa Grill
Church.
Restaurant.
Yeah, so that's near tapat ng Lipa Grill. So it's a very famous restaurant.
Right.
You guys can look up Lipa Grill, and then actually you guys can search up Japan Karate Association Lipa City. We will just pop up on Google. So
Right, great.
yeah. So anyways, yeah, my grandfather started it and then passed
So what
it down
year? How many years has it been?
Ooh, so our dojo's been up for around 30 years now, I
Wow,
think. Yeah. So
more than three
more
decades
than over
more.
30 years, yeah,
Wow.
for sure. For sure. So it started with my grandfather, but he wasn't he was actually doing like a Korean style karate when he started, and then only like during like once he turned 25 or something, then he shifted to like the Japanese karate, like the
Right.
traditional one. So and then yeah, our entire dojo shifted in that 1992, I think, or something like that. So yeah, and now it's here with me. So
Yes.
I got this opportunity.
So
to,
when
like,
did
take
you, at what age ka naging black belter? Yan, ang gusto talaga. Yan ang goals, di ba? Of course, lahat ng nag-a-attempt ng karate, yan talaga yung nilolook
Yeah,
forward nila,
for
di ba?
sure.
So at what age?
So for me,
Reveal.
I got my black belt at 12 or 13
Wow,
years
12.
old. So
Okay.
yeah, that was well, with the karate family, it was kind of like not kind of mandatory, but not really. It was more of like expected of me to like become a black belt. So, but it wasn't. I'm gonna be honest. It's not easy, obviously, especially with martial arts family. Growing up in that kind of like household, like you just have to be on top of things.
Right.
And with me, I'm such a rowdy kid. I'm like one of the most like.
Ilan kayong
very-
boys na mga sa family mo?
So I have an older brother. So yeah, we grew up
May
together
babae
as
din
well.
ba?
No.
So lahat
I have
kayo-
a half sister with on my
Alright.
mom's side, but
So lahat
yeah,
kayo magkakapatid? Or
Yeah.
ano?
karate.
Black belter?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, except for my sister and like I just have
I
a
see.
young brother as well.
Alright.
But they're starting karate as well, but they're still color belts. So.
Okay, I
Yeah,
see,
but
okay.
Yeah, the legacy continued with me and my brother.
The
so.
legacy shall continue.
Yeah,
Ayan.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
of course, isa sa mga tanong ng madlang people, di ba? Isa din to sa mga concern ko. Kasi medyo confused din ako at times. Some people would even also ask me. Kasi I tried before Aikido. Konting
Oh,
try lang.
really?
Yes, I
No
tried
way.
Aikido. So, for just the purpose of, parang self-defense, ganyan,
That's
I
true.
think I find it like a kind of a practical sport. However, I know that makakatulong din naman yung taekwondo and karate. So for a parent, without you, of course, being
Yes, yes,
biased
yes,
on
yes.
your
Yep.
field, if
For
you
sure.
are to guide someone when it comes to the decision making of, would it be like halimbawa para sa kid nila or sa kanila mismo, would it
Yep.
be either of the three, karate, taekwondo, or aikido?
Okay, yeah. So the huge difference between I know a lot of people get confused with these three: Aikido, karate, and Taekwondo. Like the main difference is like they're it's actually very similar and different at the same time. So similar as in they all kind of came from the same origin. Aikido is a Japanese sport. Karate is not sport, martial art. Sorry.
Martial
And
arts,
Karate is
okay,
also Japanese martial art, and Taekwondo is a Korean martial art. So, but it start Taekwondo. I'm gonna start with Taekwondo. So the difference between Aikido, Karate, and Taekwondo. Aikido is more of like focused on joint locks and like Aikido meaning harmonizing energy. So it's more of like a martial arts, less of a sport. So parang it's not very a competitive thing. It's more of a thing that you practice to like develop yourself, your spirituality, your focus, your discipline. So if you're looking for that kind of style, like you don't want to learn martial arts to like compete. If you just want to learn martial arts to like develop like a discipline, Aikido would be for you, right? But then if let's say you're a little younger and then like you want to compete and you want to like be more like athletic, then you would go to like Taekwondo, because Taekwondo is like very sporty, right? So since Taekwondo's been selected in the or been put in the Olympics, so Taekwondo is like it's all about speed, like athleticism, youthfulness, right? So it's very dynamic, spinning kicks. Like it's mostly kicks and like some punches, but a lot of kicks. So yeah, that's if they want that, then that's where that's for you. But then if you want a balance of both, this is where karate comes in. Karate balances that spirituality, the Budo aspect.
So you get
you get
two things
at the same time. So that's the difference
Okay.
between karate. So
Right.
karate is like can be
It's a
for the
very good
young and the
highlight.
old. So aikido is typically for the older generation, and then taekwondo is for like for the younger teenagers and all that stuff. But in karate, you have a bigger spectrum. So like there's a spiritual aspect to it where you're just learning the discipline and the art of it, and then there's the sports side of it where you learn where you can compete and compare your techniques to other people as well, and there's this athletic competitive side to karate as well. So so if you want to have a broad range, then karate's for you as well. So
Right.
yeah.
So I hope that gave us the clarity, right? Which martial art
Is for you.
to choose. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially ngayon, it's summer. A
Yes.
lot of people are going for, diba, that mga extracurricular activities.
For sure.
Right.
Yep.
So, and of course, no, when you were younger as a student, how did you juggle both, learning about this? Because there is a discipline that needs to be done in terms of the training hours. Is that correct?
Yep.
Like in a week. So how do you, balance out your being good in studies and at the same time in your karate?
Yeah, since for my situation, since the dojo is basically at my house, so I right after school I would just practice karate because that's so usually our karate times is right after school, so it makes
And
it
how
easy
many hours
for people.
usually you
Usually we
need?
train here in the Philippines. It's 3 hours, 3 hours of
Per
training, like per
session.
session.
Per day.
But usually, because it's different, like internationally in the Philippines. So how we do it here, it's 1.5 hours to like 2 to 3 hours, depending on who's there, right? So if it's like a beginner, then obviously they're only gonna get like an hour and a half or something. But if they're like really into it now, then we go beyond like 2 hours, 3 hours. So like, so it's pure, just straight up discipline. So like that's what you're gonna develop there. If you guys are looking for something to like, if you're feeling kind of you don't have a routine or something, picking up a martial art or picking up a sport is going to help you develop that routine, all right? And that's what's going to help you develop discipline. It's going to help you prioritize what actually matters over like the instant gratification that's all around us today. So like I highly recommend, obviously, it doesn't matter what martial arts you do, it's just it's your approach to joining a martial art or starting a martial art. So but yeah, as I said before, karate is it'll offer you a lot compared to like aikido and taekwondo. So yeah.
Right. I think I would affirm to that, especially sa mga formative years ng mga kids, diba? So parang they have a lot of energy. The question is where to put that energy.
Exactly,
Right?
yes.
And also maraming mga distractions around and you would want to regulate that. So I believe having that kind of martial art will help them build that character
Yes,
and
for sure.
attitude, right? So discipline is really a term that, even us adults,
Yes.
we still struggle, right? It has been a challenge in anything that we would like to pursue.
Exactly.
And I think kapag meron kang ganyan at an early age, lalo na, di ba, may na-achieve ka na agad on that particular martial art, you can just associate it with that, di ba? So kung
Exactly.
na-apply mo yung disiplina na yon sa karate, for instance, and that gave you this color of a belt, so definitely it can also increase
Boost
your
your confidence.
self-esteem,
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
Kung kinaya ko when I was at a younger age, definitely kakayanin ko rin. And it's just the same discipline
Yep.
and consistency,
Yes,
focus,
yes. Consistency is huge.
So you just bring that character of yours again, this time on a different field. Oh, that's great, diba?
Yep.
So para mas marami tayong mga younger generation, diba? Mga sa Philippines na ma-raise. Okay, thank you
Yes.
for that. So also, what's very interesting, guys, about him is that madalas kang nasa Japan, tama ba?
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
apart from Japan, are there other countries where you go for training and competition?
When I was in the national team, like I think a year or 2 years ago, I was training in Turkey for preparing for like the Southeast Asian Games in Cambodia. So yeah, usually, but typically I would go to Japan.
How many times usually in a year,
year?
you go to Japan?
Once or twice a year.
Once or twice
Yeah, it
a
depends
year.
on what we're. So last year I was preparing for the World Championships in Japan. So I wanted to go there a little earlier. So I went there I stayed there for like a couple months. So to like train with the athletes in Japan. So yeah, and I got up all the way to the semifinals in the World Championships. Yes, representing the Philippines. So that was my first time to be in the adult division. So I've competed previously in the World Championships because it's only every 3 years. So it's like the Olympics.
Right.
So it's like in the Olympics it's every 4 years, but the Karate World Championships is only every 3 years.
Okay.
So
you really
the-
have to prepare for that.
Yeah, so you really have to prepare for that. So
Yes.
it doesn't come every year. So this is kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity, but it depends on your age. So this was my last year was my first time being in the adult division, and then yeah, so I was able to compete.
Preparing for another one.
Yes, preparing for the next one. It's gonna be in Japan again, so I'm
That's
so
2000.
excited. 2020. So last 2020.
7, I
Yeah,
think.
2027,
Right,
yes,
Right.
will
3
be the
years
next one.
after. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna
Yeah.
cheer for Sensei.
For
again.
sure. But your question was how.
What's the
often-
difference actually of seeing or being exposed to the international standards of training as
okay.
compared to the Philippines? Ano pa ba yung pwedeng gawin ng Pilipinas?
Okay.
Diba? Kung
So, yeah.
somehow you were able to benchmark, right? And see their culture, their standards, etc.
Yep.
May pagkakaiba ba? And if there is, have you seen certain improvements that we can apply here in the Philippines?
100%.
Wow, 100%.
100%.
I think we need to,
Listen up.
listen up. All right, pakinggan natin
Yes,
yan.
yes. So coming from, so I grew up in the States. So I was born here in the Philippines, moved to the States when I was 8 years old, went to school there until high school, and then I moved back here in the Philippines,
okay.
started training in Japan. So I saw how different they run things here in the Philippines compared in the States and in Japan. So one thing that's like we can improve on here in the Philippines is like obviously it's the systems. It's the systems that they have involved. Like let's say one huge difference that I realized here in the Philippines versus let's say we'll start with the States. The States, it's like your approach is different. Here in the Philippines, we're like kind of more we're gonna speak about karate muna versus like society for now.
Okay.
But in the karate, the
Martial
approach is
stuff.
different. So like here, the students here, you can be a little more strict with your kids because like here in the Philippines, we accept like tough love, right?
Alright.
So but in the States, it's kind of like you have to approach it differently because the kids are like, oh, you have to like, you can't just shout at the kid because the parent will see that like,
And they can call it 911.
yeah, they're gonna call it like you're abusing
They
my
know
child,
their rights.
right?
Oh, really?
Exactly, yeah. It's
It
not really
applies there?
abusing, but it's like they're gonna it's gonna be like kind of like you're
Yeah,
abusing their
they,
child.
They usually perceive it as that. Right?
Yes,
But it's not.
But it's not that way. So it's
right.
like disciplining. Because like here, we're like, we have our kids like we're training them to like we're toughening them up. We're preparing them for like the real world, right? So like when there's a little bit, our job as instructors and as senseis is to put challenges in front of our students,
Right.
because that's what's gonna get them to grow and develop. And then so that's one thing that like let's say the Philippines would do better than the States, I guess. And then in the States, naman, I guess it's the how you would approach it in the States is you have to be more nurturing, more of like you have to set goals in front of them or like prizes in front of them.
Okay.
So and then that's when it's like it's the opposite. Here it's like running away from pain. I'm
Right,
gonna do it
right.
right, so because I'm like I don't want to get corrected by sensei, right? And then if in the States it's like, oh, if I do good, I'm gonna get this. If I do
Yeah.
good, I'm gonna get this.
My reward system.
Yeah, my reward system. So that's I think a balance of both is actually good. Taking both is very good.
Right.
So and another thing, let's say we'll look at the bigger perspective and talk about like let's say the society, about like the systems and stuff. So here in the Philippines, it's like huge on we run on a different schedule here in the Philippines versus like Japan and the US. So in Japan, it's like they are always on top of everything. Like if it's like because they have this the train schedule. So like if they miss like 1 minute, they're gonna miss their train. So it's like they're always like if it's let's say the class is at 3, you have to be there like 2:30, right? Or like 2 something. So like I feel like that's what's also like helping their society grow so much faster.
When it comes to their classes?
Huge, super. I think it's just basic professionalism. I think it's just because same in the U.S. It's because like they treat it as like it's business, right? So it's here in the Philippines, it's a little more laid back. So it's like I feel like that's why things get done a lot slower than the Philippines or than Japan and the U.S.
Right.
So when things get done slower, then there's a lot of people who like complain, a lot of people who then not everyone's happy. But then if it's too strict, that's also another thing that I saw in Japan, that everyone, if it's too strict, now like everyone's stressed out. Everyone's like they don't even have time to like greet one another.
Right.
They don't even, they
It's
just
like there's
walk. They're like
tension.
robots, like
Oh.
straight up just walking from one point A to point B. Like there's no in between. It's like I have to get here, I have to get there, I have to get there. So it's kind of you have to have that blend of both, where you have to have, yes, it's important to be punctual, but that's one thing that we do share in our karate, is that we're training our students for the real world. Right? So like since karate is a Japanese martial arts, we follow the Japanese system. So it's like we have to be on time all the time. We have to don't come to class late, and like you have to be like the basic stuff, like to let's say to be able to work in a, let's say, in a first world country. Right. So that's why I guess we were able to like share in our dojo. That's what separates our dojo from like other dojos, is like how we approach the teaching.
And that's actually my next question for you.
Okay, yeah.
So seeing the standards of different countries, US, Japan, and other countries, I'm sure somehow you have set also a particular standard in your dojo. So if there's something that something that you can boast about your dojo, what would that be?
So what separates our dojo mainly is our approach to our teaching method. So we approach our classes with a holistic perspective. We don't just train our students. Typically here in the Philippines, they train their students to become champions in tournaments. Okay, so to just compete. So they train to compete,
Hindi
to
ba dapat
win
ganon?
medals.
So ano ba dapat ang mindset?
So our mindset is we train them to become champions in life.
Oh, okay. In life, in general.
Yes, so you have to not just in tournaments.
Not just in the mat.
Yes, we
Ganon.
want you to be champions in school. We want you to be champions in your relationships, in your family, holistic, in your health, right, in your business. So like these are the things that we share in our dojo. That's why it's not just punching and kicking. We teach them the mindset that you need to develop this holistic lifestyle where you're successful in all parts of your life, right? So because it doesn't matter how much you exercise or how much you eat healthy, if you're lacking sleep, you're always gonna, it won't be like whole. You'll always feel empty inside until you've like checked off all the boxes of like, let's say, the 5 pillars of health, like sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress management, and I said nutrition already, and I think supplements is the 5th one.
Yes.
Supplements, yes, and nutritional supplements. So like if you don't have these things, like you'll always feel like you're missing something in your life.
Right.
And this missing thing, stress management. I guess religion comes into stress management. So it's like if you're the spiritual help with that as well. But if you're missing one of these, you'll always feel empty, which you will perform less. You'll perform with less efficiency, less you're not going to be fully in the moment because you're thinking about other things that you're not, like, you still need to fill in. So like in karate, that's what we're teaching, that before you even start training, you got to make sure all of these things are in check. So let's say when you're in karate class, you got to be fully in karate class. You can't be thinking about school. You can't be thinking about what you're going to eat later, what you're going to watch later. You have to be fully focused, present in the moment. And this is like a skill that we're teaching, that karate is not just in the dojo. This is the dojo. The world is the dojo, right? This is the moment you wake up, you're already training. How you
Oh.
carry yourself, how you slap.
Great perspective.
Yeah, so it's like
I love it.
what we teach is not just self-defense, like from an attacker. We teach self-defense against our own bad habits. So humans, we have bad habits like slouching.
Right.
That's a bad habit,
Oh my God.
right? So like we teach our students that it starts with that.
Right.
Don't look at opponents. Don't start martial arts because you want to fight people. Start martial arts because you already have an inner battle within you, and
Right.
you need to be able to learn how to battle these things properly, right? So it's mental battles and spiritual battles. So there's two ways to handle that, and that's in our dojo. We like to share those things. So we teach physical, how to physical self-defense, spiritual self-defense, and mental self-defense.
Winner. All right.
that-
So that's what you will get from, what's the name again?
So,
of
JKA
your-
Lipa.
JKA Lipa.
Japan
Ayan.
Karate Association, Lipa City Wellness and Fitness Studio.
All right. Wellness and Fitness Studio. So
Yes.
currently you're holding your classes like on a schedule of what?
So our classes right now, so if you want to start, our classes as for beginners, Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. So it's an hour and a half. And
11:30 a.m.
a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, a.m.
Uh-huh.
10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then for the
Papasarap ang
advanced
lunch
class.
nun after
Yeah.
kasi sobrang ano.
Exactly.
Sorry.
And then after that is the advanced class. So if you're a color belt, let's say you're like orange belt and above, you can join the advanced class. Advanced class, which is from 11:30 to 2 p.m. So we end up finishing at 2. So, but yeah, usually we try to finish at like 1, but we tend to finish at 2. But once, let's say you start Saturday, Sunday for beginners, once you get the lessons, you can start joining. We also have Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes at 5:30 to 7:30.
Right. And
Okay.
usually mga competitions, how often here in the Philippines?
Competitions are very frequent actually here. So like you don't have to. It's just you have to pick and choose which competitions you're gonna go to.
Right.
So
parang may mga like every quarter.
yeah,
so
every
there's-
quarter. Yeah. So for us,
So
it's
very
like
active.
yeah, it depends on what we're preparing for. So like right now, in a couple weeks, our team is actually going to Mongolia for another international competition. So
Nice.
we're going to be representing Philippines there. And after the end of this year, around September, we have another one in Manila.
Right.
Quezon City, I think. So yeah, we're gonna have special guests from Japan, like 7th degree masters that are coming. Who's like one of the most popular like karate master
And they'll
in
be
Japan.
visiting your dojo.
Yeah, they're gonna be visiting this on September.
Right.
Not at our dojo. It's gonna be in Manila.
Manila.
Yeah. So shout out to Naka Sensei and Shihano Kuma Sensei. So they're gonna be here on September.
So it's the name
28.
first and then sensei, not sensei and then the name.
It's actually it's different because like in Japan they say either Kim Sensei or like Yuki Sensei.
so what
or-
does your students call you? Ba?
But here in like if we do American style, it's like Sensei Yuki or Sensei Kim, right? So in Japan, it's like it's weird because like in Japan they do last names first, right? So
Okay.
they're like Torres-san or like so they have this formality where your last name is like you're seen as your last name,
Right, right.
and then in the U.S. it's more of like your first name, right? So
And but matututunan din nila yan sa classes.
yes.
Okay.
So in karate class we teach either one is fine as long as you. It's more of like a title. So sensei is more, it's like a doctor like or attorney or
Right.
yeah, right.
Okay.
So
To
sensei.
give
is
respect to the instructor.
Yeah. Because for our JKA, it requires a diploma. It requires like a once you get your black belt, that's also what separates our dojo from the other dojos. Is that when you become a black belt, it's actually considered a diploma, so it's not a certificate. So when you get a black belt, you get a black. Usually with other styles or other organizations, you get black belt certificate, but under the JKA, you get a black belt diploma. So it's like considered as like a college degree,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
So that's why they call it a first degree, second degree, third degree
Right.
black
Ilan
belt.
ba? Ilan ba yung degree
So
na
there's
yan?
once you reach black belt, there's until 10th degree.
10th
So
degree.
that's like beyond master's PhD type thing. And then in order like so right
Here
now
in the Philippines, ilan bang may 10th degree ba?
oh wala. The highest right now is my father actually. He's a
Wow.
6th degree black belt, right?
And
So
how
I
many
think there's only
years
2
yun
6th degree black belts in the
for him?
Philippines as of now.
How many years? Ilang taon siya nung nag-6th
Yeah, so
degree
6th
siya?
degree, it's for every degree you get. So I'm first degree. In order to take my second degree, I need to be 1 year in first degree. And then so if in order to take my third
So may
degree, I need to be
length of
2
time
years. My
then.
length of time and
Part
age as
may-
well.
Okay.
Right? So like let's say I'm 23 right now and I was able to get my 4th degree. So that's like that was like +3 +2. So that's like 7 years of or 9 years of experience in black belt before you can even get your 4th degree. And that's like I guess you would call it like a bachelor's degree in like karate or something or
Yeah, more than
something like that, right? So
It's a lot of hard work.
yeah, it's a lot of time and dedication as well. Because in Japan, they have a martial arts course. So here we have nursing, doctorates. And all
Like
that
in a
stuff.
school?
Yeah, in a school, like in
parang
college.
4 years,
Yeah, 4
ganyan.
years like thing. They you
Talaga.
teach martial arts.
Dito wala pa, no?
Yeah, wala pa dito. So I think that's where we're headed is that we're gonna try to bring martial arts into the
So talagang like after
school
high school,
system.
pwedeng yun na yung kunin nila?
Yeah, become a martial arts instructor as
In
a career.
Japan?
In Japan, yes.
Okay,
As a career.
now.
Yeah. So here in the Philippines, I
Anyway,
think
they
that's
started it, right?
that's what they're trying to like show people that like yeah that being a karate instructor is a path that you can take. So that's one thing that we're trying to share as well with since our students is like a lot of us want like they want to be nurses, doctors, and attorneys and stuff like lawyers, and then but there's also some kids who also like I want to be a sensei, right? I want to be an instructor, martial arts instructor. So we offer that as well to our students, and it's a legitimate degree. It's a legitimate like it's a
You mean you offer it here in the Philippines?
Yes, we offer it here in the Philippines.
Okay. So apart from students competing, you can also hone a particular individual to be an instructor.
Yes, so it's like our dojo is kind of like a university that like you can get a diploma, right? So
Interesting.
it's not just so that's why we're preparing our students not just for competition, but for life.
Yes,
we're preparing them for the real world. So like if they want to travel abroad and like start their career abroad, they can.
Career.
Right. There's a lot of dojos from like we're getting so
How
many.
many dojos do we have like siguro Batangas?
In Batangas? I'm not sure. There's a lot of dojos, but JKA, I think there's only like 2 or 3 here. So one of us.
In Lipa?
Yeah, in Lipa, kami lang ang JKA sa Lipa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have another branch in Lima, in outlets, at the One Fitness Horizon.
Yeah, di ba? Nag-ano din kayo doon?
Yep, we have I teach there, so. But yeah, there's JKA is like renowned, like it's over 100 countries around the world. So there's a lot of people who are hiring out around the world. Like we're getting so many invitations to like they're asking for instructors. The problem is that we don't have any instructors here to like. But there's so many offers like karate, martial arts.
So there's a demand.
There's huge demand.
Yeah,
for that they want good instructors and. So that's why if you're into martial arts and you want to get like a legitimate degree, a legitimate license, JKA is the way you can get that. So
yes. All right.
Yeah.
So amazing. Okay. So this time I am very interested to ask about kamusta yung endurance and parang gaano ka-importante yung endurance and having that immediate recovery for a certain athlete.
Okay, so yeah, that's a huge part in karate because it's like health is in order to perform the best you can, you need to be well like fueled. So that's also one thing that we share in our classes is that you gotta keep track of your health. You gotta keep track of your nutrition. You gotta keep track of your sleep. So it's very important that like because this all relates to energy. If you don't have any of this, like going back to what I was saying earlier, you will perform less, and then won't be able to like get the results you want, and then get those improvements that you want to
Who
see.
instilled to you that, and at what age did you have that? You know,
It just came to me naturally. Before,
intentionality.
like, so I used to be like a ADHD kid. Like, it was so hard for me to like focus and, but as I kept doing karate, like, it just became natural to me when I got into high school that I would just like start like working out on my own. Like, started like I had my own parang kusa, like parang ako na mismo. Like, I didn't have to wait for somebody to tell me to do
Right.
something that's good for me in order before I even begin to start doing something good for myself. So and I just realized how important it was. So, ayun.
Like particularly sa food, 'di ba? So syempre, nasa
Ah,
US
yes.
tayo.
Tama.
Ang daming mga masasarap dyan
Uh-huh.
and a lot of big servings, pizza, burger, etc.
I've actually tried like
how did you
all the
address that
diets.
temptation?
I've actually tried like all the diets you can think of. Like, I've tried vegan, keto.
At
I've
what
tried these
age
for
ka
like.
naging concern sa mga ganyan, sa food,
I think
etc.?
16.
16.
16, yeah. So 16 is when I started taking my health seriously. I started working out.
Did you have any health concern before? Or
No, I didn't. I was overweight. I was actually
talaga?
really fat.
Kahit nag-training ka?
Yeah, even if I was training, because I wasn't training like seriously. I was just like a kid, just having
Okay.
fun, right?
So during those teenage years, yun.
Yeah, teenage
Okay.
years. Once I was going into high school, I started caring about like my image and like I was self-conscious, and I'm like, oh wait, I need to start working out. Like, I
Right.
need to become more healthy, and then I just started eating better. Tried vegan, vegetarian, keto, and I tried these for like months. True. So like, but from what I found out is that when you eat according to the season. So that works best. So like, let's say summer.
Eat according to season.
Yes,
Okay,
eat
tell us
according
more
to
about
season.
that.
So like, obviously, number one, like everyone should already be following this. Like, try to eat minimum processed foods, like things that are in packages, in cans, and all that
Right.
stuff. So if it's in packages, it didn't come from the earth. Just remember that, okay? It came from us. We had to process it and had to go through chemical treatments and all that stuff.
So we're talking about whole food.
Yes, whole foods.
Yeah, plant-based.
Plant-based. Well, not necessarily. Like, so going back to like the seasons. So let's say typically when it's like winter, that's when you would typically eat meat.
Right.
Because like it's all of the plants are dying at this stage.
Oh, in US.
Yes.
Yes.
So like it's good to. Oh yeah. So I guess it will change according to where you are as well.
Yes, and your location.
And your location. So typically, what worked best for me is like eating according. So let's say summertime. Right now, it's like it's a season of fruits.
Right.
Right. So like oranges, mangoes, grapes. Like like we were meant to eat fruits.
Right.
Right. Like just keep eating fruits and like you could literally just live off of fruits. It has all the nutrients and like all that stuff. But obviously, not everyone's gonna live off of fruits. But you just have to have a good balance of it all. So like the vegetables, the meat, typically.
And of course, you're consuming carbs.
Yes, of course.
The-
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, like fruits and vegetables
Because
are
this
carbs.
one of the, controversial.
I see.
right?
Yeah, a lot of people try to avoid carbs when they're trying
And
to
then
lose
they're
weight.
seeing Carlos Yulo, a lot of rice.
Yeah. No, right?
Syempre,
Okay,
diba?
so carbs is a complicated thing because like carbs works if you're a busy person, if you're always like moving and you're always on the run. But if you're like living kind of a sedentary lifestyle where you're always like, let's say, sitting down, carbs wouldn't be helpful for you. What you need is like
Especially if it's
nutrient dense
simple
food.
carbs,
Yeah, simple
right?
carbs. This is what I'm trying to say. So simple carbs would be used for like people who are like who are very active like in their day, like who's always constantly on the move. And then but the people who is like mostly using their brains and stuff, you need like vegetables, fruits, because that's what's gonna cause you to like actually think better. Because you won't use muscular movements, right? So like if you're using muscular movements, simple carbs is very helpful in that way. But then if you're just like sitting down and you need to use your mental power, mental energy,
Go for complex
yeah,
ones.
go for complex carbs for sure. So neither is good or bad. It's just how you're
Balance.
using it, right?
Right.
It's like, what's your intention before you do something? Think when you eat, think of like, okay, how is this food gonna help me do that thing better? Right. So if you're always keeping that, if you're always keeping that in mind, you'll always eat the right things, right? Because you're making your goal more important than your pleasure in the present moment. So that you won't eat that donut because you're preparing for that thing in the future. You won't eat that chocolate bar. I'm not saying all of that is bad.
Cravings, like favorite food, etc. Probably you can share to them how are you able to, address those.
I've kind of trained myself to like
so maraming
every
kids
time
din
I crave,
na diba, na students kayo. So sila talaga yung alam mo na ice cream, sweets, etc.
So
fast food.
So every time I get I always get sweet tooth, but now I've learned how to before I would just eat the chocolate bar, right? Or the cookie, right? But every time now I've realized how much fruits taste so much better than all of these things, right?
And your favorite fruits are?
Right now it's oranges. I used to hate oranges, I'm not gonna lie, but now it's cold after a hot day and then you get a cold orange.
Any kind of orange.
Yes, mandarin orange or whatever, basta sweet orange, right? It's the best. And it's it helps you with it helps balance your pH levels as well, which allows you to your body will heal much faster as well. So that's why I highly recommend eating your fruits. Majority of the your plate should be fruits and then vegetables and try to get. That's also one thing that's going to cancel out your cravings is that if you're always full on healthy things.
Yeah, because it's actually rich in fiber.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're full on those things, then you wouldn't even want to crave every time you get a crave for let's say chocolate, you'll just go for the berries instead. You'll just go for the grapes instead.
Right.
Because it's more filling, right? So
more filling. Definitely.
And that's where you're okay, mas important thing. I should try fruits more often.
Okay.
I should
kita natin, we heard from Yuki na mahilig naman talaga siya sa fruits and vegetables.
Mangoes, dragon fruit.
That leads me to my next question. Despite that, you see yourself being, having these micronutrients coming from whole food, fruits, vegetables. Do you still believe on the importance of supplementation?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because I believe that there's things that you're gonna be missing in your diet, because not every day let's say you're gonna run out of grapes, you're gonna run out of oranges, you're gonna run out of these essential things that you don't have. So that's where supplements come in handy, because it's on those days where you're oh wait, I wasn't able to eat a fruit today, or I wasn't able to eat healthy today, right? So that's where supplements are oh, at least you can know you have that thing that's consistent, right? If you have that thing consistent, then you're able to be more flexible with your diet, right? So that's how I use supplements. So what I use is the USANA Essentials.
Yes.
So that I highly recommend that.
And you've been exposed to a lot of brands, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So the recent ones that you're using is USANA. So why did you choose that as compared with the other brands?
So I saw USANA was it was complete. That's one thing. It had everything that the body needs, because they work on cellular nutrition. So and I just saw that it's the most whole. So I after trying it for I'm still using it, but it's you can't compete against it. There's no better supplement than USANA, right? So it's too backed up by science to even compete against. So that's why you just put your trust in it, and then you do it. You take it every day, and you'll be set for life. One thing though, if you have extra, if you can get coquinone, CoQ10, that's also one thing I use as an athlete. So it does help with endurance. Okay, so on top of the fruits that I'd be eating.
Yeah, I've heard si Nico Welga's favorite niya yan as triathlete. So ikaw personally, how do you think you're benefiting from it?
Yeah, so I do morning runs, and the moment I wake up, I go for a run. So I could definitely feel because I like to take coquinone actually the night before.
The night before.
Yeah,
And it doesn't bother your sleep.
Yeah, it doesn't bother my
Okay.
sleep.
So case to case basis talaga.
So
Have to observe your body.
So the moment I wake up, that's when I'm like, I feel more rejuvenated.
Oh,
I feel more, because when I'm sleeping, it's like repairing.
You're right.
Right. So I guess it has that energy to repair the body.
Definitely.
So that's when I wake up, I feel so light.
Wow.
I feel so light, and like when you feel so light, it's like nothing can stop you. It's
Right.
like you could just keep going forever, and like you feel your body like it's a machine.
Right.
And it is. It's literally God's machine, and that's when I'm like, okay. You just have to follow the design. Or what was your body designed for, and then just follow the blueprint of it.
That's
So
great.
you'll do well.
So we've also heard about omega-3s being anti-inflammatory. So how do you think these can also help?
Fats are very important as well, because fat is a good source of fuel. A lot of people hate fat because it's like it's been taught that it's like negative or whatever. But
Yeah.
fat is like, that's your body's like made up of, like, fat is it's the best energy source. Actually, it's better than carbs. Fat is a better energy source than carbs. The problem is when you don't use fat, it becomes useless. Just like money. If you're not using money, or if you're just, let's say, you're not moving it around, because that's why they call it currency, is because it needs to be moving, right? And that's when, same with fat. Fat needs to be used in order for it to be useful. Okay, if you're storing fat, that's when it's like it becomes unhealthy.
Excess ones, right?
Excess. Yes, you
body
start
fats.
being more inflamed. You start having you start swelling in areas that you shouldn't be swelling in.
Right,
So
right.
that's why it's very important to use the fat, and having healthy fats is what's gonna keep you growing. It's gonna keep you strong. It's gonna keep you,
And the mind sharp.
yeah,
60%
mind
of our
sharp.
brain,
Exactly. Our
right?
brain
It's
is
fats.
majority fat, so that's why I don't know why people avoid fats. So like avocados, nuts, so many salmon,
rice,
yes.
blah,
And
blah.
then if you don't like any of those stuff, that's where supplements come in, right? So I highly recommend like omega-3s as well.
Yung lolo mo, di ba, gumamit din siya ng Biomega.
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
for the
Yeah, my
joints.
grandfather's straight up like powered by USADA. he's
What was yung
taking it
concern
every
sa
day.
tuhod before?
He has like osteoarthritis in his knees. Like he basically has no more like the liquid between
Synovial fluid.
the juice right in between his knees. That's when he, after taking like Isana, he's like
Ilang months before you saw the improvement?
I think he took it for like 2 months.
2
Then
months
I started
lang.
2 months, and then I started
And
seeing
his
him.
age right now.
Yeah,
is what?
he's my grandfather's 77, 78,
Wow.
going 78. So like
Yeah.
before he would have a hard time going up the stairs and all that stuff, and like because he would still work out in the morning, play basketball and stuff. But after seeing him, like he could like do splits still, and like he
Right.
could like stretch. So that's why I'm like, okay, this is legit. Like if
Yes.
your nutrition's on point, your body becomes a healing machine.
Right.
Right. So just keep that in mind, that prioritizing your health is gonna prioritizing your health is gonna really improve your life 100%.
Right. So, should you want to learn more about how to do personalized nutrition or take this nutritionals, you feel free to message us in any of our social media platforms. All right. So, of course, I'm sure a lot of people right now would like to know how can they reach out to you. Probably you can share your social media accounts of your personal account and the JKA's account. You have a Facebook page.
So you guys can, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram at Kim Torres, YUKIM TORRES. You guys can also follow me on Facebook at Kim Masayuki Torres. I'll just pop up right there. And if you want to know more about our dojo, you guys can check out our Instagram page as well, JKA Philippines _Lipa City. And you guys can follow our Facebook page as well, Japan Karate Association, Lipa City Fitness and Wellness Studio. So you guys can go check us out there.
Exciting. So, any final message to our viewers, and probably if they are still hesitant to go for it, or they just would like to learn more about karate.
My last message for you guys.
What if like probably a person is already at a certain sport and they would like to add on karate?
Yes,
something like that. Do you think they can still be able
For sure. Us. Okay. Well, I want to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, because a lot of kids right now, like they are engaged into music, they're engaged into this and that.
Yeah.
So
If you want to enhance your life and bring it to the next level, you should try karate for sure.
since it's holistic,
Yes.
as he mentioned earlier.
Yes, it's
Right.
it's gonna improve not only your physical capabilities but your mental fortitude. Okay, and your values in life, your purpose in life will be more clear when you have this sort of discipline, and it'll just make your other disciplines, let's say swimming, music, it'll just bring more life into that area. So I highly recommend like trying out karate.
Okay, so once again, if you want to win in life and not just win in tournaments, feel free to contact them. So once again, click subscribe in our YouTube channel and of course in our Spotify. You can also follow the social media accounts of JKA Lipa and of course si Sensei Kim. Abangan natin yung mga ano niya, no, upcoming contents. Ayan. So once again, this has been another episode of Nourish to Flourish PH podcast, where we help you to nourish your body so you can flourish holistically. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in, and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.